I'd just like to take a moment to capture this because I feel like I've discovered a few things in my life. I've made a few realizations very recently in these past few weeks. Most recently, one that just came to mind and I thought was really, I look like I'm glowing. And I thought that is very important, is that living is not hard. Getting the ball rolling is the hard part, because you really have to push that stone, and because your stone is, it's gathered up this history of neglect. It's all rough on the edges, it's not rolling properly, it's got a lot of baggage, and that's what you gotta push. That's where you gotta push through. And once you get some momentum, and it's not gonna be easy, because you're gonna push it a bit and it's gonna roll back, and it's gonna crush your toes sometimes. You're gonna be screaming, you're gonna wanna quit, you're just gonna wanna let that stone pile up and get even bigger. And that's just when life gets to you, man. You just gotta push up that stone and push through it and push through it. When it hurts, when you stub your toe, when you fail, when you fall, anything, you just gotta keep pushing that ball. And eventually you're gonna get the ball rolling. And once you do, you're gonna get that feeling. And I know this feeling so well, because I've had it in times in my life where my ball was rolling and things were going, and I was living. And I suddenly, and why I said at the beginning, living is not difficult, is because we're not used to living. We're not used to living an active life. And so when we try to, and when we feel like we have to, we sort of force ourselves into something we've not really done well or often or want to. And that is why it feels difficult. But somehow, once you find your passion, as my good friend Ahmed's talked about today, and when you're happy to do something, and when you're happy to be happy as well, oh my goodness, that's really something. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there, but there's definitely a momentum, and it doesn't become easy, but you get used to it, and you find this path comes with certain thrills, certain aches, patience, fails, successes, moments of risk and uncertainty, and you have to sort of gamble, take a jump, be decisive when you just don't know what's right, when everything feels dark and you're just running ahead, and you're gonna fall, you're gonna stumble, you're gonna trip over things you didn't even know were there, and it's gonna feel unfair. You're gonna want to know, you're gonna want the lights on. But that is the thrill of uncertainty. And that's exactly what makes success so rewarding. And without this, there would be no point to it, because everything would already have succeeded. And with perfection, there is nothing else but existence. I suppose perfection spoils existence in that sense. Or at least this existence. It might just be so different we can't comprehend it. But there's a certain feeling with the ebb and the flow of life. And I think we need that. I think that's just life. You can't really change it. No matter how much you flow, you're gonna ebb. And no matter how much you ebb, you're gonna flow. You know, that's the beauty of it. And we can feel so stuck in the present sometimes. You know, we can get so caught up and think, wow, this is the end, this is it, this sucks, I want it all to be over. We just don't realize what's ahead of us, and we have to be so mindful of that. And it's just sort of, again, push that ball. Push that ball. We just gotta push that ball. Oh, there we go. It's good to have the feeling again. Although it is pretty exhausting. Sometimes I have to be careful not to burn myself out, because it's something I tend to do. But I feel like I thrive when I have a lot to do. Like there's a certain point where I have a lot to do, like, oh, I feel like I have to do this, and I sort of crumble under the pressure, but I realize I have to do it, and then I soar through it. And that is just the ebb and flow, and that's it. The black and white. I gotta tip that couch somehow. Anyways. That's it. A message for the future, if I had to say one thing. Even though it sounds redundant and silly, this point is really resonating with me right now. And I know that my future self will know this feeling. And I want you to keep pushing, because there are things to do. Don't become lazy and complacent just because you're comfortable and you think you're okay. Yes, you can always take time to enjoy life. I'm not saying grind your life away, but you can always be doing something, and it doesn't have to be redundant. You can make it fun. You know, you can listen to music while you do it. You can do a little dance and groove. You can try something uncomfortable where people might stare at you because you truly want to do it. You're just scared. So that's a little fun challenge, you know. It might not feel super fun at the time, but once you get over that, you unlock that door, and then you're able to do it freely and fluently without much care, because you're used to the uncomfortability and the fear or the stares or whatever, right? That's like, it's that feeling when you're a kid and you get new clothes and you're so self-conscious when you're wearing it, you know. It's like, oh, what are people gonna think of me? It's like that with trying new things. What are people gonna think? Especially when it's very different. And it's okay to be different. I mean, even just change yourself in a second. It's okay. You don't have to be, I'm not, when I say it sounds defensive, but it's general advice that you don't have to be anyone. You don't have to be the person you're expected to be. I mean, not that like you have responsibilities, of course, take care of them, but I mean, your persona, you know, just because you've been nice all along doesn't mean you have to keep that up. Just because you've been funny doesn't mean you have to do that. It's just because you've been a certain way and you acted a certain way doesn't mean you have to be that. And that opens a lot of doors to freedom. And perhaps there's a secure sense of security with having an identity that you're strong with and that you connect with. And I suppose for me at least that comes later with time, but at the moment I don't see myself settling for an identity. I think we're always changing, and there's never a you, there's never a Spencer that can be defined. Even though I have like general things, yeah, but I'm always changing, so every version of me is different. Although there's always something that's similar, I'm evolving, like my mold is changing even though I'm made of the same thing. So I might shape differently, but you know, deep down I'm just that Spencer matter. There's a nice little pink cloud in the sky right now. Oh, I miss this view. Oh, that's 10 minutes. That felt like a weirdly short Short time. It's already been 10 minutes. Usually it's the opposite. I don't know. I've just sort of rolled away in thought, I suppose. There's a lot of like stuttering because I'm not used to this yet. It does take a lot of energy, I realise, to talk and share ideas. Everything takes energy. And I've realised I have to be somewhat conservative and aware of my energy, otherwise, again, I sort of let loose and burn out. So I realise I have energy. I've got energy. Spend it all, you know. And it's super fun at the time, but then, you know, the consequences of that is that I dry up, you know, and become exhausted a bit. So yeah, that's something I have to be more aware of. Energy conservation and energy awareness in order to align myself better and coordinate my enjoyment, rest and struggle, because that's all part of the fun. That's a good conclusion. There we go. Alrighty. I'll read something. I am sunk in the mirry depths where there is no foothold. I have come into deep waters, swept and engulfed by the flood. I am weary from calling for help. My throat is hoarse and parched. My eyes have grown dim looking for my God. More than the hairs on my head are those who hate me for no reason. Mighty are those who attack me. Many are my enemies without cause. What I did not steal, I am forced to restore. Had I done wrong, O God, you would know it. My fault would not be hidden from you. Let me not bring disgrace to those who hope in you. O Lord God of hosts, may I cause no dishonor to those who seek you, O God of Israel. Since I am held in contempt for your sake, and shame has covered my face, I've become a stranger to my kindred, an alien to my mother's sons. Zeal for your house consumes me as fire, and those who insult you insult me as well. When I humbled myself with fasting, I was scorned for it. When I put on sackcloth, I was made a laughing stock. I've become the talk of those who sit at the gates, the topic of the drunkard songs. But I pray to you, O Lord, at a time most favorable to you, in your great love, O Lord. O God, answer me with your unfailing help. Rescue me, lest I sink in the mire. Deliver me from the storm and the deep waters. Let not the flood engulf me, nor the deep suck me in. Let not the pit close its mouth upon me. In your mercy, O Lord, give me a good answer. In your great compassion, turn to me. Hide not your face from your servant. Answer me at once, for I am in distress. Come and rescue me. Set me free from my enemies. You know the disgrace I suffer, and you know my oppressors and my humiliations. Dishonor has driven me to despair. I looked for sympathy, and there was none, for comforters, and there was none. They gave me poison for food and vinegar to drink. My snares be sent for them in their banquets and traps in their sacred feasts. May their eyes grow dim, so that they will not see. May their loins be stricken with palsy. Pour out your fury upon them and let your burning anger overtake them. I don't like this hatred. Why wish despair among others. Let's keep reading. Make their camp desolate, may no one dwell in their tents. I mean, if they're wrong, at least so, but who are you to say they're wrong? Who are you to wish bad upon someone? Charge them with crime upon crime and do not acquit them. I suppose some do deserve it. Blot them out of the book of life and do not enroll them among the upright. But I myself am humbled and wounded. Your salvation, O God, will lift me up. I will praise the name of God in song. I will glorify him with thanksgiving. I suppose some people do need to be humbled by punishment. This will please the Lord more than ox or a bull with horns and divided hoofs. Thank God. Let the lowly witness this and be glad. You who seek God, may your hearts be revived. For the Lord hears the needy and does not despise those in captivity. Let heaven and earth praise him, the seas and whatever moves in them. For God will save Zion and rebuild the cities of Judah. His people shall dwell in the land and possess it. The children of his servants shall inherit it, and those who love his name will dwell in it. Psalm 69. Save me, O God, for the waters have come up to my neck. That's intense, man. That's beautiful. There we go. You can't detest that. I'm gonna bring my books and I'm gonna go back to my flat. Wow, that took 5 minutes to read. Anyways, I have to carry down 2 sofas down 3 flights of stairs. Technically like 5 because they're half stairs. But it's an L-shaped sofa bed, so wish me luck. But I'm getting 2 sweet sofas tomorrow, so it'll be worth it. Anyways, I'm gonna have to make my daylight count. So may you swim in any water.